Question number 3, Honourable David Parker.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Economic Development. Was a document summarising the process involving Sky City and the proposed convention centre, as referred to at paragraphs 3.17 and 3.18 of the report from the Auditor-General, sent by MED or the Ministry of Tourism via email to DPMC on 12 November 2009, and did that email record Treasury advice that advice should be sought from the Office of the Auditor-General to determine the probity of that process?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, as the Auditor-General records in her report, an email dated 12 November 2009 was sent from one official at MED to another one at DPMC. The email included reference to a suggestion that should the government choose to progress a public-private partnership to build a convention centre, then seeking advice from the Office of the Auditor-General in that regard was recommended. Mr Speaker, as the process the government entered into was quite different from a PPP, I'm advised there was no need for OAG advice regarding a PPP.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question.
Will the Minister forthwith release the document emailed to DPMC on 12 November, which recorded that Treasury advice to get advice from the Auditor-General as to probity?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, I'm not aware at this time whether it's already been released or not. I'll certainly look into that for the member.
Point of order, Mr Speaker.
Point of order.
That wasn't my question. My question is, will he release it forthwith? It's a different question.
And I don't want to get into the issue of relitigating the question and the answer. The easiest way is for the Minister to repeat his answer, I think. Would the Minister please... Does the Minister want the question again?
As I said to the member, Mr Speaker, I'm not aware of the status of that document, whether it's been previously released or not at that point. I will check for the member and then see what I can do in that regard.
Point of order, Mr Speaker. That again doesn't answer my question. My question wasn't whether it has been released, whatever is the status of the document. My question is, will he release it?
And the Minister has satisfactorily addressed the question. The Minister, does the member have further...
Point of order, Mr Speaker. I still don't know whether the Minister is going to release it or not. So how can he have properly addressed that question?
He said he'd look into it. Does the member have further... does the member have further...
Supplementary. I do, sir.
Supplementary question, Honourable David Parker.
Had any of the staff at MED or the Ministry of Tourism expressed concerns about the probity of the process, or had discussions with the Treasury about the probity of the process before that part of the document was sent on 12 November? And if not, why was that document prepared?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Well, Mr Speaker, on behalf of myself, because I am the Minister, but I wasn't the Minister at the time, the reality is that memo was sent. Whether there was any discussions between officials prior to that, I have no idea at this time.
Supplementary question, Honourable David Parker.
Given that the Minister has today conceded that the Auditor-General was right that the document was sent by MED, and the Auditor-General's finding at 3.31 of the report that in its private briefing, that's the private briefing from DPMC to the Prime Minister by way of briefing note of 3 December, it referred to Treasury's comments. Does he believe that the 12 November email that was sent by his ministry was received by DPMC?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Well, Mr Speaker, I answered in the primary question that an email was sent from one official at MED to another official at DPMC on the 12th of November 2009. I also said that it was in reference to a public-private partnership should one be used to build a convention centre, and it recommended, if that was the case, that the Officer of the Auditor-General was consulted or discussed with the Officer of Auditor-General. Of course, it became absolutely moot because a PPP was not proceeded with.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Honourable David Parker.
If the Minister's saying that the email was sent by MED and was received by DPMC, why did the Prime Minister deny yesterday that it was received by DPMC?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, I'm not aware exactly what the Prime Minister said yesterday. What he did say, I understand, was that he hadn't seen it. This is my recollection of it. but the member could direct a question to the Prime Minister in that regard. However, again, I would point out that even the Auditor-General says that this matter became moot because it did not have a proposal at this time. If the matter were to proceed to a PPP, that would be a concern, but they did not have a PPP, so the whole thing's just a wild goose chase.
Question number 4, Honourable Tariana Turia. Order. Honourable Tariana Turia.
To the Minister of Internal Affairs, will he agree to follow the lead of many of our major trading partners,